Hi everyone, welcome back to Nature's BS. We're on episode 6 already. Is on so fast, it's crazy.
So quick.
Um, I know. I see we have Pookie in the chat. We also have myself and Andy. Um,
Yay.
Hopefully more people will join us. Hope everyone's doing well. Had a lovely week. How's yours been, Andy?
It's been good. Yeah, busy. I have been doing lots of bird spotting. Uh, and I had a
Lovely.
fantastic day on Saturday. More to explain shortly. And then doing a bit of gardening. So making sure my garden is all ready for me sticking lots of vegetables into the ground. So what about
Sounds
you?
great.
How's it been for you?
It's just every week I feel like it usually hasn't doesn't feel like much has happened. And then I look back on my pictures and I have loads of pictures
Yeah.
I've seen. But it has got quite busy, but nothing to stand out. Nothing.
Okay.
Um,
I got some
what was going on this
standouts.
week?
I got some standouts. I did. It was
Nice.
great. And finally the weather started to feel a bit more like spring. It's
It
not
has
been
actually.
it's not been
Yeah.
freezing cold.
I've had 1 or 2 days, which was pretty cold, but for the rest of it, it has been surprisingly hot. Today, especially for me, it's probably been the hottest day I've had up here
Yeah,
in
same
Wales.
here actually. We've had I was saying to you just before we came on, and when I was driving back from work, it was 18 degrees. That's at 5:30.
Unbelievable.
25 degrees in the Netherlands, says Pookie. Far too hot.
Having their first heat wave already by the sounds of things.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
May
heat
Day.
waves
It
are
is May Day
important.
today, so happy May Day, everybody.
Happy May
Yeah, it
already.
is the
A third of the
ancient.
way through the year.
It's an ancient day where we celebrate the start of summer. There you go. That's what May Day
Oh,
is.
lovely.
Here
Definitely
in
good
the
weather for a May Day.
here in the UK, you get May Day on the May Bank Holiday Day, which is the day that everybody gets off except for me. Is
Oh,
on Monday. So yeah, always the first Monday of the month we get a bank holiday, and that means lots of people will be off, and I'll be very busy at work. So
oh.
boo.
There's so many bank holidays around this time.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it is very
I
rude.
like them all spread out.
That is a good way of putting it because you get was it you get two in April, there's two in May, there's two in August.
I'd rather it spread out.
Yeah, they're all over summer. I think the reason they're all over spring and summer is because the weather's better. So, and the whole
Oh
idea is
yeah,
it gets people out spending money. I think that's the whole point of them. So,
come see
heat
you at one
thunderstorms are here right now, says Pookie. Wow.
already. Wow.
I feel for you, Pookie. I really do. I feel for you. I do like a good thunderstorm though. They are very cool sometimes.
I
Like
love
you can
them.
stand in the doorway or in the window, and because the rain's coming that way, so coming over the building, and you can just
Mm.
stand with the windows open. It's roasting hot outside, but if you feel the freshness from the rain coming down in front of you, oh
Oh, just like the light trickle, trickle,
yeah, and then the
and then just
lightning
the
going off above you and stuff like
rumble
that.
thunder.
Oh, it's just
One
so
of my
cool.
favorite sounds. It's just
Yeah,
so powerful and
yeah.
just oh, I love it. Hopefully get some. Well, it's not really much of a heat wave we're having right now. It's like it's
I don't really think
reasonably
it's.
hot, but
I don't think it's a heat
probably not
wave.
enough though.
No, I don't think it's a heat wave. I think
Mm.
it's just we've got the right weather at the moment. I think the ground's going to start warming up. Quite a lot of
Mm.
the seeds that I planted have now sprouted. So hopefully I'll
Mm.
be harvesting some of them very soon, and then I'll have to be putting more out as well, which will
Exciting.
which will be good. So I'll be eating lots of salads in the not too distant future. Fingers crossed.
Mm.
Instead of
Also
all the
love
sweets
that.
I was eating before we came on stream.
No one knew about that. Just knew about the salad, not the sweets.
I've I've just polished off a bag of Haribo's. It wasn't full when I started. I promise you.
We believe you. Don't you worry.
Here we go. Cool. So it sounds like it's been a busy week for both of us. We've seen lots of cool things.
Mm.
Shall we crack on and show people what we've seen? I think that'd be very
Let's
cool.
crack
And
on.
please show us, please tell us in chat what you've been seeing as well. I've been seeing lots of pictures from Pookie, of which I have downloaded a few. I will show them on stream very shortly.
I
So,
love Pookie's videos, or
Yeah,
videos and
yeah,
pictures
Pookie
and
stuff.
everything.
To be fair,
Amazing.
I'm gonna show that stuff now because it's
Go for it.
some amazing things. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Here we go. Cool. So we're gonna start off with this image here. This is a tree pipit. Lovely bird. Look at it singing
I love
away.
the
I don't know what this one is,
Mhm.
Pookie. You'll have to tell me what this one is. I don't recognise it.
Looks like the cross between a wheater and a stone chat.
It does a bit, doesn't it? This image
Very
is from
pretty.
Barnacle Bomb. This image is it's a sea slug of some form, and it is gorgeous.
Such awesome creatures.
This one was posted by Birder Chris from Frampton Marshes, and I put it in because the size difference between those birds is a bit crazy. When we come back to it, we'll talk about what each of those birds are in a second. This one is from Oh Look a Birdie. I believe this is a speckled wood. I may be wrong. This one as well. This is a tortoiseshell. I don't know if it's a small or a large. And then we're back to the tree pipit. So there we go. Just 5 images. All beautiful. All showing us that spring is in the air. The birds are about.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Barnacle Bum.
Hello.
You're about to see your sea slug on stream. There it is. I love this image. It's just the
Yeah.
colours and the detail and the way it. Oh,
Like the textures of
yeah,
like
it's just super
flowy
cool.
hair or something.
Super cool. Yeah, so what have we got? We've got a gull, a buzzard, and then a barn door. Which happens to be a white-tailed eagle. So yeah.
Is a good name for it. It's just insane the size.
Yeah,
Like I
I'm
look,
good.
I'm like, wow, that buzzard's so big.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine something over twice the. Oh, insane.
Have you ever seen a white-tailed eagle?
I haven't. I'd love to see one. I've never seen any eagles, I think.
Really?
No. I need to though.
I tried posting a video of the sea slug, but it was too big a file. Oh no!
Oh.
That's a shame. That'd been cool to see, actually. What I might do, Barnacle Bum, is I might send you a PM on Discord if you're on our Discord channel with our email address, and you could maybe transfer it over to us on WeTransfer, and then we could show it on the stream next week. If you're up for that, please let me know. And I am very well. How are you?
Everyone's doing well.
Yeah, cool. Right. Where were we? We were moving on. So, would you like to show off your magnitude of awesomeness, or would you like me to go first?
I'll go for it.
Sorry?
I'll go for it.
You go for it. Cool.
I'll go for it. I'll start.
Where are we going to begin?
I'll start with the lizard. This was last Wednesday, but I didn't have time to upload it all. Talk about it in last stream, so talk about it now.
There
it was really lovely.
Little
We
common
had
lizard.
a new site we're putting out some refugia for like reptile surveys, and came across I think it's like 17 lizards we came across while doing just like out and about looking, and they're such lovely creatures. It is quite hard to see them stationary because you see them as they scuttle off, and it's like, oh, I'm never seeing that again. But if it is really nice and sunny and you are quiet and still, then even if they do run off, they usually come back to their basking spot quite quickly. So if you are patient, they usually come back, and you get lovely views.
Yes, we've had some lizards spotted at Sherwood the last couple of weeks. We also get them so when you go to the visitor centre and you're heading out to walk into Sherwood, there's a little. I can't remember what you call them, but you got the cages with the rocks in them. It's normally used as like a wall, and we've got lizards in amongst them, which is pretty cool. So if you're very, sometimes they do venture into the visitor centre, and we've got to shoo them out.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, it's what wildlife on your doorstep, which is very cool. Hey, Jono.
Hi, Jono.
There you go. That's
Barnacle,
that's
no,
awesome.
there is a cool lizard friend.
Gabion basket. Thank you, Barnacle Bomb. That is exactly what it is. A Gabion basket.
It's nice having people who just know things.
Yeah.
Just when you have those mind blanks, like, oh, thank you.
I can't remember what I'm talking about.
Something nice with lizards. I recently did a reptile survey training course. And one thing I learned was, so the common lizards, which is here in the picture, when they're juveniles, they're all really dark black. So what they look like on their tail in the picture. And then as they grow into an adult, so in their sub-adult form, they start turning into that more browny, sometimes even like greeny, yellowy. They're really variable, but they start changing color at the front and make its way back. So you can tell this one's a sub-adult because it has that kind of classicy browny, pale yellow front, and then as you get back, it has that gradient going into a darker.
Oh, that's
colour.
cool. So obviously, as it sheds its skins, it will get lighter and lighter and lighter.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And also excitingly on that survey, I saw my first ever snake. It was a grass snake, and I had an amazing view of it myself. I was just walking, I stopped, looked around, and it was literally staring at me like a meter in front of me. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a grass snake. Beautiful creatures, if you get to see them. Such beautiful animals. And I saw it, made sure it was a grass snake. I was like, okay, I'm going to try and get a photo. Really slowly try to get my phone out. I was just about to hit record, and it started slithering away. But technically I did get a short video, and I took a screenshot from that video. And here is my grass snake. Picture for you today.
Can you see it, folks? Yes. Took me ages.
Put your guesses in the chat now.
If it wasn't for the second image we're about to show, I probably would never have spotted it.
Make your guess of which stick is actually a snake.
I said this, Pookie. I said it was an Andy pick. 3 of them coming up, by the way.
So it's an Andy pick full stream today. Getting all 4 of them.
I should have called it Andy Pick Central.
Andy's Picks BS. So yes, if we now go on to the image highlighting where the snake is.
Oh, cool. So you see it there? Have you spotted it? There it is.
Yay! How obvious is that? I really wish I got a photo when it was just staring at me. It was such perfect. And it was the first snake seen on that reserve for a really long time.
That's cool.
So I'm glad I technically got a video, and in the video you can see it, the stick moving. So I have proof of it. That was very exciting.
That's awesome. I think that's brilliant.
Very cool.
I've never had an experience with a snake like that ever. So very jealous.
Very happy. What else did I see? The same day, saw my first Odonata. I saw a large red damselfly.
Ooh.
Quite a few out, different places. So keep an eye out for those.
Looking lovely on the
very
course
lovely,
there.
Lovely summer sight. Very hard to get pictures of.
They just don't stop moving.
Fittery.
It's like,
and then when they do take off, like, I'm just going to go into the next valley. That looks really nice. I'm like, no, come back.
It's like dragonflies as well. I was chatting to somebody the other day about getting pictures of dragonflies, and you've got the 2 different types. You've got the darters, and you've got the what the other ones? Chasers, that's it. And I can't remember which one it is, which family it is, but one family stays airborne all the time, moving around. That's probably darter. I'm just guessing, by the way. There, please correct me if I'm wrong. And then, but the other family find the perch to sit on, and they keep going back to the same perches to hunt from. Okay. So they'll be sat on a perch, and then they'll shoot out to grab their prey, and then come back again. So the thing to do is watch them for a while, see which perches they're using, and then set your camera up onto that area on the perch, get it focused, and then wait. And then as soon as they arrive, click, 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 and you'll get them sat on a twig or a leaf or whatever it happens to be. So
that's cool to know. Maybe that's darters, which have the same spot and then dart out, and then chasers are continually flying.
I have no idea.
If the naming makes sense, which sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. I didn't know that those two kind of families had that trait.
So it's so I'm obviously hoping to get dragonflies and damselflies into my garden. Not damselflies into my garden soon. Once I get my pond dug. Although I laid out a rope last week about where my pond's going to go to see how big it is. It's going to be huge. So lots of digging.
Nice.
I found common hawker dragonflies in the garden, usually just one at a time, and it flies in the same pattern. There you go, Barnacle Bum. Thank you very much. Yeah, hawkers as well, isn't there? Hawkers.
I'm really excited. I knew a bit about like dragon and damselflies last summer, but not really that much. So I'm excited. Like this summer, I'm gonna get my eye in for them because they're such cool animals.
Yeah. And there's another good tip there from Barnacle Bum. So if you're watching a dragonfly and it's moving around a lot, okay, and you'll normally see it'll normally do the same pattern or a very similar pattern. So you just need to be ready for it where it is. So once you've learnt that pattern, you can get that picture. Seen a few damsels and dragons, no knights. Lots of pictures of them on Discord. That's right, Pookie. You've certainly been putting lots of pics up there on Discord. We're going to have to do a dragon and damselfly stream one day, I think. Just like we did a bee spotlight. I think there's something so special about damselflies and dragonflies. I absolutely adore them.
They're very cool.
Their wings as well. Have you ever found one of their wings just lying on the ground?
No.
I have. I remember doing it when I was finding one when I was a small child, and I got to. My dad let me keep it. I have no idea where it is now. It's probably disintegrated or whatever. But took it all the way back to my grand's house and we stored it somewhere, and now it's disappeared. Yep, and I predominantly find them over the best hoverfly spots. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I was playing poo sticks with my dad. I don't know if you know what poo sticks is.
No, I know that one. I think it's a very British thing, so I'm not sure
poo sticks.
Non-British people.
It's got nothing to do with
very
poo.
Weird thing.
It's got lots to do with Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, is that where it's from?
Yes, Winnie the Pooh. He plays it. He plays it with. I can't remember the kid's name.
Piglet?
No. The young boy.
Robin?
Winnie the Whoopsie. Is it Robin? His name's not Robin. Something Robin. I can't remember. Christopher Robin. Thank you, Barnacle Bum. Robin was in there. Yes, he plays it with Christopher Robin. His the young boy who Winnie the Pooh is his teddy bear. So there we go. If you've never read the Winnie the Pooh books, I highly recommend them. They are fantastic. There you go, a bit of plugging of a novel there. Anyway, moving on. Damselflies, yes.
Damselfly, really cool.
Yeah.
And also saw some really pretty moths, some common heath moths.
Okay, common heath, where's that?
So any heathlands around anyone here, on warm or sunny days, go out and have a look, because there's loads of them actually. If you're lucky, I saw a good dozen or so just flutting around in the heathland, and I managed to get a picture of one resting, and there's such beautiful moths.
It's the antennae at the top.
Male antennae
they're just amazing. So cool.
And just the patterning, even on the underwings when they're fully open, it's just really cool, like mottled, dappled texture. It's really pretty.
Nice.
Saw a bee fly. I got a good picture of a bee fly, which is exciting. I've seen a few, but I managed to get a good picture. And there's such, what's the word? Steampunk feel. There's just something very, because the dark edges of them, like a dark edged bee fly, that looks like that's all their wings. It has like really like thin, angular, sharp wings, and like a massive, sharp, straight proboscis. Just feels very steampunkery-ish to me.
Bee flies remind me of a sci-fi series I used to watch a long, long time ago. I think it's from the 1990s. So you're probably too young to even remember the 1990s. But there was a sci-fi series called Lex. And bee flies just remind me of the little transport thing that's in that, because it was all about insects. So like you move through space in like a giant dragonfly, and then they had lots of little flies that you could jump inside and fly around and stuff. so yeah, but yeah, bee flies remind me of that. I think it's. Oh, there you
I like
go.
that barnacle
Wings
bug.
made from old clock hands. That's a great one.
That's a really good, like, poetic way
Yeah,
of saying it.
that's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've been seeing a
And they're
lot.
really long and thin legs as well.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of
Just
bee
everything
flies
about
in the
them.
garden actually. So
They're very pretty, very cool animals. What I've seen, dock bug,
dock
shield bugs
bug.
around. I've only
Is
seen.
is this part of the shield
Cool.
bug family?
I think so. I was trying to look this up. Well, they're called a squash bug, or part of the squash bugs, which I think encompasses. Oh no, doubting myself. I don't get rid of squash bugs. No. Aphids, bugs.
Shield or stink bug, says Pookie.
Stink bug. I think they are. I have to do some more digging, but I think they are. But they're very cute.
They are very
I
cute.
was saving this one from a footpath, and they're just very kind of like slow and mechanical as they walk along. I like the antenna kind of. It's very angular. Yeah, it is barnacle. It's quite a fair size. I like how big they are.
I
You
would
can
say,
actually hear them when they fly.
yeah, I would say they're easy to spot, but they're really not.
If they're in the right place,
Yeah.
like this one's just on a pavement, so it's obvious, but they can blend in really well. Like with the gorse shield bugs, I can only ever see them when they're flying or moving around on the plant.
Have you ever seen a cockchafer?
Yes.
The size of
The
them.
first time I saw that, I was like, "What on earth is that?"
Yeah, I did
And
exactly
then
the
it
same.
flew. It was like,
Yeah. So
so
how the
loud.
earth do you fly?
Small rock with wings.
Massive things.
I'm excited to see them again. I think the last time I saw them was end of June, so hopefully.
Yeah, they can be like locusts.
Oh, okay.
Pookie says he uploaded an image
They're around
today.
already.
Let me have a look. I'm going straight in, Pookie.
I do love cockchafers. I've only seen a few times, but they are very. Like them along with the scarab beetles just look very un-British. Look far too fancy bug-wise. Invertebrates are very cool. And
So
there are
there's a
so many.
lovely butterfly. Oh, God, I wonder what that is. That is cool. Your second image, Pookie, is with the
I gotta
four
go check
wings
this
on
out.
the fly thing. That is very cool. Look at that one.
Oh, is that a broad-bodied chaser?
Probably is actually. That is cool. That's a
Hmm.
great find.
Hello, spooky
Hey,
ephemera.
Spooky.
Nice to join us.
Thank you. So,
Welcome to the stream.
we're looking at images on Discord at the moment. So that Pookie's put up. I love the what looks like a, what do you call it? A brimstone. Beautiful green. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. They are
If you're not on
outside my front
Discord,
door
you're missing
all the
out.
time. If they fly against my windows, they make a crashing sound.
Oh no!
Wow.
That's amazing to have outside your front door.
So I'm pretty sure I know who Spooky is. And Spooky sent me a picture that looks very much like your dock bug.
Ooh,
So there we go,
how
Spooky. We know what it is.
spooky!
It is a dock bug,
Dock bug.
which is
It's
very
very
cool.
cute.
Very, very
Thank you for
cool.
that.
Right, moving on. Moving on.
Moving on. Caterpillar. Love your caterpillar every week. Drinker moth. Caterpillar.
He's
I love
hairy.
the drinker moth with the like splotch, splotch like a really vibrant goldeny orange yellow. Definitely not brought out on camera as much as they are in person. Just really bright, like almost look like they're illuminated or something. They're very cool. And yes, the wee tuft. They're very cute. Yeah, drinker moth. Haven't seen an adult yet. I've seen plenty of the caterpillars. I'm excited to see the adults, which I think July, August. I think later in the summer. Ooh, cockchewers are also called maybugs as well. Also in
Also
Dutch.
in
Just
Dutch.
briefly.
Ah.
Hmm.
Picky's going to
Never seen.
check my Dutch pronunciation later when we're talking about our species
Oh god.
focus. So, and I've been practicing.
Oh, okay.
I've been
I'm
practicing.
awful at trying to understand different languages.
Yeah. Thing is, it's all fair and well remembering them for the stream, but it's remembering them in the future when you go to said place and you say, "Oh, I've
Yeah.
just seen a such and such."
And they're like, a what?
That's why you uploaded an image of one. Oh, that's cool. I didn't
Oh,
realize they're also called maybugs, cockchafers.
maybugs. It's maybugs.
Yeah, because it's May Day.
I love it when, especially, it's one thing I really love about Wales, and all the place names are just really descriptive.
Yeah.
So I went somewhere which is just called like Three Bay, no, Three Beach Bay, like a bay with three beaches in it, or just like the place on the River Kefni or something. I love just how descriptive it is.
Ooh. The caterpillars are thought to drink dewdrops, which is why it's called the drink moth. Ah,
It's so cute.
that is very cool.
Huh. Oh, I love how people know so much because I get to absorb all this information and appreciate it. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
that's
So
really
moving on
good.
from my caterpillar, nice plant, some marsh flowers worked.
When I saw this image, when I was uploading it on OBS last night, I was like, wow, that is stunning.
It's really pretty. Um, so there's common lowswort, which is looks similar to that, but has um, like a much more green leaves and is much shorter. So
Hmm.
you'd find it flowering basically 5-10 centimeters from the ground. But marsh lowswort's much bigger and has kind of those purpley leaves, and that's about 30, 25, 30 centimeters off the ground.
That's cool.
And having a whole collection of them on the fen is a really lovely sight. Very pretty pink flowers. Um, I'm very happy seeing all these wildflowers coming out. It's been really nice. Lovely colour, lovely smells. Very exciting.
Oh, we called that honeysuckle when we were kids. We'd pick a flower and soak the nectar. Oh,
Oh,
that's quite
I'm gonna
cool.
try that now. What have I seen? Cool fly, a noon fly, which looks a bit like your classic fly, but has some orange bits on them. It was very pretty. Um, what else? Cool moths. I've done a bit of mothing. Had a red chestnut, which has gorgeous colours, um, like a red chestnut. But just in person, it's a really lovely purpley red chestnut colour.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. It's all over as well. It's not just the wings. It's like the hairs on the legs, the heads, the wings everywhere. Very pretty colour. And I'll end with a lovely small tortoiseshell butterfly, which I'd never noticed the blue on them before, and I saw it in, I can't remember whose pictures it was, but the ones we were showing earlier from Discord.
Oh, look at birdies.
Look at birdies. the blue patterning on the bottom of the wings. I'd never noticed
Yeah.
that before, and it's really beautiful. Yes, I love how hairy they are as well. Very fluffy, very lovely butterflies. And that's been my week,
That's pretty
which
cool.
looking back on it is a lot.
That's a good week of sightings. Lots of different things, lots of different
A good
species.
range.
Yeah, very good range. I normally don't focus on the smaller things. I normally just go looking for birds, but but yeah, it's most definitely fantastic. Very lucky if I see a butterfly and I manage to get a picture of it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen dozens of butterflies when you got a picture of one, I think, from last week. Lots of orange, which I just love seeing. Very lovely.
cool.
What have you seen?
Well, so if you might remember last week, I said that I was supposed to be doing a bird survey in Sherwood on Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did do a bird survey in Sherwood on Saturday morning. Uh, Again, I was out with friends on the Friday night. Uh, and then the message came through to, oh yeah, I'm free tomorrow morning. Are you still free? To which I said, yeah, no problem. I was up at 5 a.m. and I drove off to
Oh,
Sherwood Forest.
no.
So I was on the non-alcoholic beer the night before. So so
Could have
yeah,
been worse.
it could have been a lot worse because if I'd actually had a good view, I wouldn't have been going, but because I wouldn't drive. But there we go. But no, on the way in, there was the most amazing sunrise. So the first bit's a bit of a slideshow of images, not necessarily of wildlife as such, as in moving wildlife, but just some scenes that I caught on the way to and while walking around Sherwood Forest. So
I love these pictures so much.
we'll start off with the sunrise. Uh, Stereotypically, there are uh, bloody lines in the way, and then it's just the sun coming through the trees. I had to stop occasionally and just take pictures.
Oh, it's so atmospheric and
Yeah,
soft lighting, the crepuscular rays. Really cool pictures.
I've got another one of this image coming up with from a bit further back as well.
It really does convey that just tranquility, which I really love about sunrise and
Yeah,
dawn.
it was absolutely stunning there. No editing, Pookie, none on any of these images. There's
Wow.
nothing.
Did you
I
find
I did
fruit?
not find Frodo Barakaboom. No, this is my favorite one, by the way. I think this is my favorite one, with the sun pushing through the trees, the tree at the top there. There's a bit of glare on the lens, but
Adds to it.
and then we're back to the sunrise. So yeah, so I was just it's just a shame about the wires going across the a third up from the bottom, but that's what happens when you stop off in a lay-by because you've seen that sunrise and you got to take a picture.
You can tell it's good just because of how rushed it was.
Yeah, it was just, honestly, it was phenomenal morning. Like it was just stunning, absolutely stunning. I've never seen Sherwood look like that. So
Mm,
yeah, I was very very lucky to get to see these capture these moments. So yeah, so there we go. So we will
really cool.
move away from that, and then we'll go into a few highlights from me. So the only image I got, or good image I got of a bird while we were out doing the spot count, uh, thank you, Spooky, uh, was a robin. And to be fair, you can never go wrong with a robin. So, and this little fella, I think it's a fellow. It might have been a little lady. Landed. I kid you not, within 1 meter of my left shoulder, and just started tweeting at me.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like, I remember you. Get a photo of me.
Look at me! Look at me!
Even looks like it's posing, like
Yeah.
to the
So
sides.
Yeah, I do love a robin. I think they're absolutely glorious. Glorious little things. I love their song as well. I think I can I hear one. Can I hear one? I can actually, yeah.
I don't
There's
think I
one in
can
my
say
back garden chirping away at the moment, so and a blackbird as well. But
we can see the picture. It's like, my friend.
yeah,
You've trapped my friend to this box.
it follows you home. It possibly did, Barnacle Bomb. It possibly did.
Okay.
I've got a little family that are there's a male and a female paired up somewhere in or just outside my garden. I don't know exactly where. I haven't gone hunting for the nest. It's possibly just over the fence. So, but I know for a fact that they have not used my nest box that I put out for them. So,
Has anyone else used it or?
no, nothing's using it. Nothing's using any of my nest boxes that I made and put out.
Oh.
So we will leave them. You never know, something may happen this summer, and if not, then I will take them down, I'll clean them out, and I'll put them back up again, and hopefully next year. So there we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from my robin. So, I finished at Sherwood. I got back to the office at about 9 a.m. And I walked in and I basically showed some images. I've got more images from Sherwood, but I want to use that sighting as my species focus. So we'll talk about that later on in the next segment. But we have. So I finished at 9. I showed off all my stuff. People got very excited by some of the one of the pictures I showed, which I'll show you later. And then I headed home, had some breakfast. My other half was awake by that point, and I went, "Fancy going to Frampton Marshes?" And she went, "Yeah, why not?" So jumped in the car and off I drove to Frampton again, which is the second time in a month. And I went to try and find the black tern that's over there. And I get there around about lunchtime. I go in and I see Birder Chris, because remember Birder Chris works there. And he went, "Guess what's not here?" And there was no black tern.
The first thing he said to you.
Well, no, he just asked me how I was and stuff first, and then he went, "Guess what's not here?" So yeah,
no.
but I did see some amazing things. Okay, so
And you saw Birder Chris.
And I saw Birder Chris. Birder Chris
Which
is
is
one of those
amazing.
amazing. Yeah, Birder Chris is one of those amazing things. So we'll start off with probably the best picture I've ever got of a goldfinch. And I do like goldfinch as well.
Oh,
Very colourful bird.
on the blossom. Lovely.
Yeah, I was on about hawthorn.
Who's that hawthorn in flower now?
Hawthorn's in flower now.
Exciting.
In some areas, it's not in flower here. I've got hawthorn in my
not here as
garden,
well.
and it's not flowering here. But there was definitely some over in Frampton that were flowering. So, oh, my 20-year-old hawthorn is yet to flower. Ah,
Aww.
it is a love. Honestly, Barnacle, if you ever get a chance to go to Frampton, I know it's a long way for you. I highly recommend getting yourself. That's to anybody. Get yourself over at Frampton Marshes. It is phenomenal over there. The amount of birds is crazy. But yeah,
It's definitely on my bucket list to go.
Yeah, this was close to the end of the day actually, so I'm pretty sure the visitor centre was closed at this point. And we were just walking back, and I saw the bird come in and land right above my head, and I just pulled the camera out and took some pictures. So yeah, there we go. So is that. I then saw earlier in the day, so one of the first pictures I took, this is of a little egret displaying. So it was showing off quite a bit.
Very dramatic looking.
Oh, Maythorn, Pookie. That's a good name for it, because it flowers in May. That's a very cool idea. But yeah, this egret came down. It chased another egret off and then started doing this dance type thing, which I'd never seen before. I'd never experienced it, so I don't know if it was just trying to be aggressive or if it was actually displaying. But it was very funky. So I took a few pictures, and this was probably the best one out of all of it.
Did it just walk around like that?
A little bit. It walked around a few steps like that, and then it brought its wings in, but it kept its head up really high. And normally, when you see well, especially from my experience with little egrets, they're normally quite hunkered down, looking down into the
Yeah.
water, hunting. But this one, literally up, head up, chin back. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, like legs fully extended.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
like
Just
it's
really, it
yeah.
was really showing itself off. So yeah, absolutely stunning.
Wow.
Yeah, so I saw that, and then just over its shoulder, there were marsh harriers. And there's two in that image. You can see one flying, and then the other one, literally with its wings open, just inside the reeds there. So I think that's its
Mm.
nesting site, or very close to its nesting site. There was quite a few of them
Oh.
about. These were the two that were showing the most. And what I will say is one of them, I couldn't tell you which one at this point, but one of them was bringing in and out nesting material,
Mm.
which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So that means they've paired off, which is great. And then a long distance picture. Let's see if you can spot this little bird. It's quite obvious when you actually look. You'll see it right in the centre of the picture.
Oh yeah, like a little lemon out there.
A little yellow dot.
Yes.
This is a yellow wagtail, and there was 2 or 3 of these running around, but they're at some distance to us. Probably looking at like 30, 40 meters away from the edge, from the path. So that's probably the best I could.
Very yellow.
Oh, super yellow. It was so stark. It's the reason we saw them. It was like my other half doesn't use binoculars. She literally just uses her eyes. She goes, "Oh, what's that over there? It's that yellow thing." And I'm like, "Where?" And binoculars come up. Oh, buddy, that's a yellow wagtail. Click, 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 click. So yeah, there was 2 or 3 of them, which was just brilliant. And I've never seen a yellow wagtail before. I've seen a grey wagtail, which is grey on the back and then a beautiful yellow chest, but I've never seen a yellow wagtail before, so this was a first for me. It's a lifer. Look at that.
Yay.
I've had lots of lifers at Frampton, so
Yes, another reason to go.
it is. Now, for the first Andy pick of the evening.
Oh, exciting.
You got a blue-headed lifer this week. That's got to be on Discord. You got to put that. I'm on Discord already.
The Andy pick can hold.
The Andy pick can hold.
The anticipation.
I can't find it, Pookie.
Yesterday's, Pookie says.
Yesterday's. Okay, that's today. Yesterday.
We're just hyping it up.
So there's a linnet, there's a stork, there's lots of gulls, there's a skylark. Oh, bloody hell, is that it? I have no idea what it is, Pookie. I'm assuming it's that image. Oh, you can't see it. There we go, that's better. You can pick that up there.
Looks almost like a Goragtail, but bigger. 3 of them, Pookie says.
Yeah, there was 3 of them in the image. There's 3 of them in that image.
Wow.
You have to tell me what that is, Pookie. I don't quite recognise that. Is it a grey wagtail? I don't think that's a grey wagtail.
It looks a bit like a Goragtail, but bigger and like more upright. And
it might be a grey wagtail.
It was a lifer for Pookie, so I feel like it would be.
Yeah, it's very cool. Blue-headed wagtail. Ooh. There you go. I didn't realise there was blue-headed wagtails. To be fair, when I saw the grey wagtail, and I was up in Applecross when I saw it, which isn't too far from where Barnacle is, still a distance. It's on the mainland instead of being out on an island. But and it's a stunning place as well, Applecross. Beautiful. And I I saw this bird in front of me when I was walking. I was like, what on earth is that? And I didn't have a camera and stuff at that point. So I asked my friend to take a picture. And he did. And when we got back to the caravan, which is what they were staying in, out comes my book trying to find out what it was. And it was a grey wagtail. So that's how I got into photography, was because I wanted pictures to see so I could actually reference them.
Ideal birds.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the Andy pick. So I promise you there is a bird in this image.
Is it that brown blob in the middle?
It is not that brown blob in the middle.
Ooh, okay. I can see some ducklings in the very lower left.
Yeah, so it's more to the back.
What's the back?
I can only just see it.
Is it green or blue or brown?
It's more grey.
Oh gosh, look.
Yeah, there it is there. I found it.
Might need some help with this one, I think. I don't see any grey blob as well. This should become a new segment.
This should become a new segment. Okay, so I've zoomed in. Okay, it's in the middle of this image. Can you see it now?
I can see it.
So this is a bird that's been at Frampton for quite a few days. It's over 100 now. Okay, there's been lots of birders that have gone to see it, and the only reason I saw it is because there was another couple there who'd spotted it and they pointed it out to me. So I thank them very much. This is a lesser yellowlegs.
Ooh.
A greater pixel bird. That is a great one, Barnacle Bum. That is great. So I'm going to read a little bit out about the lesser yellowlegs. So I'll show you a better image straight out of my book. It's this one. It's this bird here. It's called the yellowlegs because it's got yellow legs. Okay, so an elegant wader that recalls an outsized wood sandpiper, but with extremely long, bright yellow legs. Vagrants to the region are seen typically in juvenile or first winter plumage, with a brown back and wings, spangled with black and whitish spots, mainly white underparts and the pale head, neck and breast streaked with buffish brown. The lesser yellowlegs is a North American species, and there might be 8 or so records in a good year. The species usually turns up in the autumn or early winter, typically after prolonged periods of westerly gales. It favours the margins of lakes and reservoirs and fresh water marshes, around which it wades in a stately fashion. You are right, Pookie, it is an American bird. So there you go. So I saw quite a rare bird in the UK, which was great. I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Was it walking around in a stately fashion?
It was walking around in a stately fashion while I was watching it, yes. But it was right at the edge of my binoculars range.
I can imagine. It does look.
And what was really annoying is I just put the scope back into the car and decided to have a walk around this side. And I said that to Lisa. I went, we should have brought the scope. We should have just kept carrying the scope. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So
if you brought the scope, then you wouldn't have seen it. A couple to point it out to you. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen it. That's the thing. So, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. The next one are my unknown waders. Dun dun dun. So again, there's birds in this image. Ta-da!
The two in the middle. The
two in the middle this time, yes. Definitely. This time. Definitely in the middle this time.
I could say that they're waders. And that's as good as I can get.
So let's zoom in a bit. I'm quite confused with these ones because I don't really recognize them. So, which is why I've put them in. Because at first I thought they were godwits of some form. But if you look at the image, so the bird on the right of the two that's right in the centre of the image there, it's very, very white head and chest and breast. And I thought that was different. Now, they're definitely the right size for godwits. They're around about that size, maybe a little bit smaller. And the way they moved and stuff was the same. But one's really dark, and then you've got that one that's got a grey back and a very pale front.
Looks a bit like if a wader was wearing a herring gull costume.
Yes. Yes, it does.
It's like, I'm a wader.
So I was like, okay.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I was kind of hoping Bird Chris would be in chat, but he's not, unfortunately. So
he pops up later.
Maybe we can show them to him. So we did bump into another group of birders who said there was greenshank. So you never know. It could have been it could be greenshank, but I honestly couldn't say. I've never seen a greenshank before, and I think I'm too far away to really identify them as that. So
yeah,
upload to ID help. That's a good idea, Pookie. Unfortunately, it'll be the full image, the original one you saw.
Zoom in yourself.
Yeah. Okay, and on the next one, exactly the same again. There's two birds in this. Is at least two birds in this image. One of them is dead center, and the other one's just off to the left of it. So, these ones I do think are bar-tailed godwits, though.
Oh yeah.
So you can see that the red head and the very reddish chest. So it looks like it's coming into its summer plumage.
Yeah, looks nice and upright.
Yeah.
Good posture as well. It's a huge area, it looks like.
It's a massive place. And the bit that you walk around as well, so there's a really nice walk right around the edge of the reserve. But you get up onto the far wall, so you come out of the visitor centre and you turn left, and you've got the hides and everything are forward and to your left. But if you just keep walking, you end up hitting basically a wall that you walk up to. You stand on the top, and then it's just marshland, all the way out to the sea. It's amazing.
Wow.
And you just stand on there, and that's where I went to try and see the hen harriers, but I didn't see any the first time I went. I didn't even try this time, to be fair. Didn't even try. So yeah, so there you go. So that was my my trip to Frampton. It was brilliant. I apologise if you can hear the motorbike flying around there, but yeah, it was absolutely immense. Absolutely loved it, as I did the first time. And they do the best cake as well. I'm going to say that now. They do the best cake. I had the largest slice of homemade chocolate cake. So good. So good. So if you like cake and you like birds, get yourself to Frampton Marshes.
And it's a winning combination right there.
Yeah.
I with their social media as well.
Yeah. I even saw a brown rat. Right in the middle of the path.
It's not even a bird.
Yeah, not even a bird.
Wildlife cool. Up close.
Did Bird Chris make the cake? I don't think Bird Chris did make the cake, Barnacle Bum. I'm sure he's tasted the cake.
Chris, and then you get like a big slice or something.
Because he was saying something, I can't remember, I think it was last week he was saying something about good cake at Frampton last week on chat. So.
Personal endorsement, there you
go. Oh man. But yeah, but no, there was really nice. Yeah, there was loads. I went looking for they've got a little gull there as well. So I went looking for that, and there's so many. There's thousands upon thousands of black-headed gull. So trying to spot a little gull in amongst all this black-headed gull was like a needle in a haystack. But yeah, it was fantastic. I was there for about 2.5-3 hours, just walking around looking at stuff. There was some lovely. You've got the what do you call them? Grey-lag geese. I got some pictures of grey-lag geese with their goslings as well, which was very sweet. I haven't uploaded any of them though, but I'll put some of them on Discord later just so people can see them and stuff. But yeah, they were very cute, and some lovely images of what do you call them? Great crested grebe building their nests and things, which was brilliant. So yeah, some very cool things. Also mating of black-headed gulls, which was actually very, very cool to see. How they talk, like how they interact with each other, and then suddenly they go into the mating ritual, and off they go, and then literally the male just disappeared, and the woman was just left. The female was just sat there standing, going, "Is that it?"
Wait, not even a hug or anything, just gone.
Hey, Starling Sophie.
Hello.
So yeah, but no, it was a great day. So there we go. That was Saturday. I was very tired when I got home. Been up since 5. So, but there we go.
Long day.
A very long day. Very long day indeed. Cool. Right. What shall we do next?
Do species highlights?
Let's do species focus. Yeah.
I'll do my species focus. I have chosen the cowslip plant. I'm a big fan of. I've seen some just fields full. I've seen one field just completely full. It's been lovely. I've also seen one banks and verges and the occasional here and there, but really lovely flowers. And I've been appreciating them a lot more because my friend is doing her dissertation on cowslips.
Ooh, that's
and I'll
cool.
briefly talk about that. But because she's been looking at them a lot more detail, I've been looking at them more closely and appreciating them a lot more. So here's a bit about the cowslip. So the cowslip, or scientific name Primula veris, at a height of up to 25 centimeters, cowslip is a cousin of the primrose and is also an early spring flower. Formerly a common plant of traditional hay meadows, ancient woodlands, and hedgerows, the loss of these habitats has caused a serious decline in its populations, and now fields coloured bright yellow with its nodding heads are a rare sight. Like many other spring flowers, the cowslip is closely associated with English folklore and tradition, including adorning garlands for May Day and being strewn on church paths for weddings. The cowslip displays a rosette of green, crinkly, tongue-like leaves low to the ground. Its tube-like egg yolk yellow. That's a phrase.
Egg yolk
Egg
yellow.
yolk yellow flowers are clustered together at the ends of its upright green stems. The cowslip has many folk names due to its historical importance and fame, including Key of Heaven, Pagels, Bunch of Keys, and Herb Peter. The name cowslip actually means cowslop, i.e., a cowpat, in reference to its choice of meadow habitat. The cowslip is the county flower for Essex, Northamptonshire, Surrey, and Worcestershire. Interestingly, cowslips are heterocylous, which is the thing that my friend's doing a dissertation on, meaning they are at different lengths relative to the stamens and anthers in the flower. So heterostyly can be found in more than 28 families of flowering plants, and populations of cowslips have two genetic morphs, which are called distilli, and these plants have a pin form where they have a long style with a low anther, or a thrum form where it's the other way around, having a short style with a high anther. And this it's called reciprocal hercogamy, big science words, allows for a population to favour outbreeding, which will increase reproductive success. The reverse location of the sex organs within the plant represent physical variation, which decreases the likelihood of self-fertilization, and this in turn increases the genetic diversity within a population. This characteristic also makes populations less susceptible to any environmental changes.
Ah,
That's very cool.
that's very
And
cool.
in Welsh, I'm always scared to say these translations because I'm really bad at them. Briarclw Maya, and I'll put that in the chat, which it means something primrose because
They are part of the
Briarclw
primrose family, definitely.
is primrose in Welsh. I'm trying to work out what the word Maya means. I mean meadow. Oh, it would be meadow, but
Yeah, it's
yes, that is in Welsh.
I've got cowslip and I've got primrose in my little wildflower meadow bit in my garden. And when they start coming through, I think they're all going to be primroses, and then some of them pop up into cowslip. So, which is very exciting because I do love cowslip. I think they're beautiful. Did you know they can also come in orange?
Yes, I should have mentioned that actually. I think I've only seen one or two, but they're so bright.
Yeah, it's like, what on earth is that plant? The first time you see it, like, I can't
It's
be a
spray
cowslip. It's
painted or
orange.
something.
Cowslip are yellow, but no, it's stunning. It looks like it's on fire. It's amazing.
Hmm. No, really lovely.
That's a great
Yeah, that
picture,
was a
by the
bit
way.
about the cowslip. Thank you.
I'm loving the little orange bits on the inside of the petals.
Mm.
Beautiful. Yeah, cool. There we go. Cowslip. That's that's a great one. I thought about doing cowslip one week as my species focus. I can't remember what I chose instead. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't now because you've done it, which is great.
Yeah. What's your one?
Oh, what's mine? So I did say that I was going to show you another image of what I saw at Sherwood. And last week I was supposed to put an image up of this bird, but I forgot to upload it, and it wasn't a very good picture anyway. And you may remember I've been having issues with my lens. I now know why I've been having issues with my lens, because my lens is broken. So I've got to go get a new lens. So that lens I brought, I'm either going to have to send back and hopefully get my money back, or I'm just going to have to sell it for parts or something, because it's just the focus mechanism inside it seems to have gone. So it's a shame.
It's the factory thing, so you can get your money back.
But I have borrowed my friend's lens, which I was using last year, and I went out and took some pictures, and I got some clearer image of a redstart. Woohoo!
Lovely picture.
So the redstart singing away in the top of a tree.
Oh.
Beautiful birds, absolutely stunning. So its Latin name is Phoenicurus phoenicunus. In Gaelic, it's Eirgerig. In Welsh, it is Tingoch. And in Dutch, it's Gekragdi Roodstart.
Redstart.
Roodstart, yes. So a bird of deciduous woodland, the redstart gets its name from the colour of its tail, and start being an old colloquial name for tail. So red tail, which is what Pookie has put in chat there. The redstart is a summer visitor to Britain and Ireland, arriving in April and departing through September and October for its wintering location in trans-Saharan Africa. The male is a striking bird, pinky red below with a black face, silvery white forehead, grey back and striking red tail, whilst the female has pale orangey red underparts, pale brownish upperparts and a slightly duller tail. Redstarts can be found breeding across the UK, although the strongholds are in the west. However, this species is only a rare breeder in Ireland. UK numbers declined in the late 1960s due to drought in this species' Sahelian wintering grounds. So not an impact that I had here, although we probably have had a negative impact on its breeding. But because of a drought across in Africa in the 1960s, it had a massive negative impact on it. Numbers subsequently recovered and now fluctuate. It is an amber list bird, so not a red list, quite a lot of the ones we talk about on stream. There are around 135,000 pairs in the UK, so that's a number taken in 2016. They will lay their first clutch in May and can have up to 2 clutches in a year. The clutch size is between 6 to 7 eggs. Incubation period is around 2 weeks, and fledgling period is 16 to 17 days. The female likes to nest in a hole in a tree, but prefers to be able to see out of the nest while incubating or brooding. So if you see a hole in a tree and you see an eye sticking out, it's probably a redstart.
Aww.
With a typical lifespan of 2 years, breeding after 1 year, the oldest recorded was 8 years and 8 days old from ringing, which was set in 2007.
You say lifespan's 2 years?
Average lifespan's 2 years.
That's really short.
Well, you got to remember that vast majority of birds don't survive their first year.
Yeah.
So,
True.
like, I don't know what the exact number is. I'm going to make up a number. Let's say 25% of birds from fledgling, from hatching through to their first year, 25 will survive, and the other 75% won't make it. So, and again, those numbers are made up. Do not quote me, but the numbers are very low for survival on most species.
Yeah.
So, what you're looking at there is, because of that, you're pulling that average lifespan down.
Yeah, that's true.
With the oldest being 8 years and 8 days, you've probably got quite a few who are in amongst the 3, 4, 5 years old. So,
Yeah.
but those numbers are a lot less than the ones that don't make the first year. So there we go.
Thank you for that. That's cool.
But yeah, I went looking for Redstart and I found Redstart. I was very happy.
Nice.
Very
Got
happy.
an amazing
indeed.
picture as well.
Oh, thank you.
Singing and everything.
Yeah, it took me about 15 minutes to find this little blighter. So I stood in a spot where I saw them last week, or the previous week, and then I started hearing them sing, and I was like, right, okay. And there was 5 of them around me at this point, and I was like, right, okay, which one am I going to go for? And then I saw one, and it darted off into the trees, so I followed it, and it started singing at the top of this tree, and it took me about another 2-3 minutes just to pinpoint it. And then it was like, okay, cool, got it. Click, 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 click. So yeah, here we go. Lovely Redstart. Has anybody else seen a Redstart in chat? Please let us know. Or any cowslip or orange cowslip. That'd be very cool as well.
No, hopefully I'll see Redstart soon in the next few weeks. So I need to do a survey at a site where we have Redstarts. So
that'd be cool.
Very excited to see them.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'd say I'm surprised to see them this early, but I really shouldn't be, because it's about the right time. And yeah, we got a few reports, and I went out looking, managed to find some, and then got my pictures the previous week, and then this time I thought I'm definitely going to get some proper pics, and yeah, managed that. So very happy. Just like nightingales. That is a bird I have never seen. Pookie is a nightingale. I would love to see a nightingale. To be fair, I'd just love to hear a nightingale sing. I don't think I've ever even heard that.
Everyone. Is only in the east, like southeastern or east in general.
Yeah, they're more of a southern species, aren't they? Because obviously they come in this time of year. They migrate over. They pair up and breed over here, and then they'll head back south again. But it's definitely something I'm going to have to do, is go looking for nightingale at some point. Another one of the wonderful warblers out there. I hear them almost daily, can't see them. Yeah, because they are very well camouflaged for birds that sing so much. Cool. Right. Shall we show a video?
Let's go for it.
So do you want to introduce this video?
Yes.
It's you that made it.
So I took this week and a half ago or so. And as we were talking about last week, we have National Dawn Chorus coming up, National Dawn Chorus Day coming up first Sunday of May. So this Sunday, Sunday the 5th?
Sunday the 5th, yeah.
Sunday the 5th. And I was at Mothing at the weekend, so I just happened to be out for dawn. And it's a really lovely reserve I was at. It's called Corsgoch on Anglesey, North Wales. Lovely fen, so it had a lovely selection of birds. So I decided just for a few minutes to record some of the birds around me to share with you all, and hopefully just have a nice mindfulness moment.
Yes.
As such.
Stolen straight from Springwatch.
Yes. Hopefully the name is not copyrighted.
Yeah. So we're going to disappear for a minute, and it literally is 1 minute and 16 seconds long, and we'll be right back afterwards. So I'm going to mute us.
I can hear it.
That was my fault. We're going to put that back on again. There we go. I played it twice because I muted it the first time. Idiot me.
Build wealth every day with trading too.
Maybe it's just me.
Invest with zero commission.
Don't want that. It's an advert from YouTube coming on. Sorry, Twitch.
Yes, hopefully it's nice moment to relax. It's just a bird song.
It's amazing how much they sing at such early time in the morning.
Even when it's pitch black.
Yeah.
Some of the earlier singers are still going for it. Amazing.
Yeah, I was at the first spot check I did back at the beginning of April. I was sat in the front room, the living room, having my breakfast, and all I could hear were birds singing out in my back garden. They were so loud. So what did I have to do? I had to go out and listen to them. Which is my plan actually this weekend. So those who were watching last week, we challenged you to get a recording of the Dawn Chorus. We have set up a channel in Discord for you to post your videos and whatnot. When you do that, and we're going to be showing them all next week on our Dawn Chorus special. And I will be doing it from my back garden. So I'll be setting up my camera and everything. I'm going to use my GoPro, which is right here. GoPro, hello. So I'll get a video and everything. It won't just be a recording for myself. You can do video or audio, Pookie. It's your choice. I think video would be very cool, but obviously the longer you make it, the less likely you are to get it onto Discord itself. And we'll have to figure out a way of you getting it over to us. But yeah, we want to hear all the different birds, and it's going to be quite exciting to be able to figure out what we're listening to as well. So we'll be able to pick out all the different bird song and go, okay, that's this and that's that, hopefully, which I think would be very cool.
So birds are around for everyone.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know I'm going to get robins, wrens, and blackbirds, and maybe other stuff. But it'll definitely be robins, wrens, and blackbirds in mine.
I'm trying to think what I would have in mind. Because I won't do it right in my back garden, because I won't get anything. Clearly, it's just kind of a concrete valley. Because there's two houses backing onto each other, and there's no garden. It's just concrete slabs. So I'm going to head up the hill where there's a small heathland. So, or small few trees, a bit of scrub, heath. So hopefully it's a nice mix. Blackcaps, I'd hope.
Blackcaps would be great. I heard quite a few blackcaps on Saturday, actually. Didn't get any good pictures of them, otherwise I would have shown them. But blackcaps are lovely little things.
It says sniper drumming outside just now. Oh, so cool.
And Pookie goes, blackcaps with a question mark. Is that not a bird you get in the Netherlands, Pookie? That's quite interesting, because it is a migrant. Let me see.
It might have been recommending what you might hear from your garden. Okay. Pookie's wondering if you get them.
Oh, so for you? Oh, no. So I have had a blackcap in my garden. I saw it. It's all I hear. That's fair enough. Thank you, Pookie. I had one on my bird feeders end of February, beginning of March, I think, if I remember correctly, which increased my species count in my garden up to 20, I think. But I haven't seen it since. So yeah, I had a male on the bird feeders, but I think that was just a male that's flying through, needed something to eat, saw the feeders, and then did that and then headed off. It was nice to hear snipe after my screaming. Okay.
Yeah, Barker said I had to chase the sheep out of the garden when you played the muted vid.
Oh, right, okay.
He's come and wants to watch the stream as well.
Yeah, they're interested too. It increases our viewer count. Barnacle Bum. You should give them all iPads so they can all sign in themselves. And
Dawn Corey is just going to be sheep for Barnacle Bum.
Bah. Barnacle Bum says, oh God. Yeah, that was cool. That was really nice, that video. I watched it last night for the first time and I was like, oh, that's very peaceful. It'd be very cool to do a mindful moment. I think we should try and do one of them like every month.
Yeah, I definitely want to do them more because I want to get more into kind of filmmaking. It's just something I find very nice to make because it's very easy to do and it just feels very rewarding because you just have a nice minute or 2 minutes, very short, but it's nice to wind down.
Yeah, just set the camera up and shoot like, I don't know, 30 seconds and then move on and do it somewhere else. And yeah. Beautiful track underneath that of the songs and stuff singing. So.
Barnacle Bum, I'll give the sniper an iPad.
Yeah, do it. That'd be great. Maybe we can get the camera going as well, so we can see them watching. That's cool. Awesome. Right, so shall we move on to the news? News.
Yes, the news. Shall I go first?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I have one shorter one and one a bit slightly longer, but two interesting ones. So the first one I'll go for is from BBC, saying beavers back for the first time in 400 years. So a family of hardworking beavers have transformed part of an estate just weeks after arriving from Scotland. The 2 adults and 3 young, known as kits, are thought to be the first beavers reintroduced to Suffolk since hunting drove them to extinction 400 years ago. Since February, they had been busy felling trees and building dams at Little Hall, I hope you pronounced that correctly, at Norton near Bury St Edmunds. Sussex Wildlife Trust said it hoped the family's impressive work schedule would trigger an explosion of biodiversity. Saplings on the banks of a lake have already been reduced to stumps. As well as building dams, the timber has been used to create a lodge, the name given to the shelters beavers build from sticks, mud, and rocks. The Suffolk Wildlife Trust's Wilder Landscapes Officer, Sam Hanks, said the beavers would make the environment in the man-made lake more dynamic, creating a mosaic of pools and dams with different water levels. That in turn would create niches for invertebrates, fish, and birds in an explosion of biodiversity. It's a nice short one. Nice good news.
That's great. I love the fact this is one of those stories. Like beavers are one of those species that have got a lot of positivity around them. There's a few people who are being negative about it and all that kind of stuff, but overall, there's a lot of positivity about beavers and a lot of excited like nature spotters like us who really want to see beavers. I went on a beaver walk a few years ago, and again I saw like tree stumps like this, like the willow had been cut back and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool, but I never managed to see the beavers themselves. Such a shame, but hey, it's one of those things, isn't it? So.
Yeah, weird because like the word beaver for me feels that's not the UK. That just doesn't feel like in Europe at all. It just feels completely alien, which is really sad because they would have been here and they should have been here, but they've been hunted 400 years ago. It was for Suffolk. They've been beaverless.
It's one of those things like you just don't like growing up. I didn't realize that beavers had ever been in the UK, and I didn't realize that until about 10 years ago when the word started getting out that beaver reintroduction was going to happen. And I went, reintroduction? Really? Then I looked into it a bit more and found out they'd been hunted to extinction. Which is now why I want lynx and wolf back. I can understand the argument against bears, but I want lynx. I definitely want lynx back. I'd love to see a lynx in Scotland.
That'd be really cool. Really cool. My other one, a bit more sciencey, but something I found really interesting because I have a physicsy background. So this one is how evolution has optimized their magnetic sensor in birds. So migratory birds are able to navigate and orientate with astonishing accuracy using various mechanisms, including a magnetic compass. A team led by biologist Dr. Corinna Longebrake and Professor Dr. Miriam Leidvogel from the University of Oldenburg and the Institute of Avian Research. Vogelworti Helgoland? I am very sorry.
Vogelwort Helgoland.
In Wilhelmshaven.
Yeah, that's it.
As they have now compared the genomes of several hundred bird species and found further evidence that a specific protein in the bird's eyes is a magnetoreceptor, which underlies this process. The researchers found that there have been significant evolutionary changes in the gene that encodes the protein cryptochrome 4, and that certain groups of birds have lost it entirely. These findings are indicative of adaptation to varying environmental conditions and support the theory that cryptochrome 4 functions as a sensor protein. The study was prompted by research at the University of Oldenburg and Oxford in the UK, which has shown that magnetoreception is based on a complex quantum mechanical process that takes place in certain cells in the retinas of migratory birds. In a paper published in Journal Nature in 2021, the German and British team presented findings according to which it was highly likely that cryptochrome 4 was the magnetoreceptor that they had been looking for. They were able to prove that the protein is present in the bird's retina, and second, both experiments with bacterially produced proteins and model calculations showed that cryptochrome 4 exhibits the suspected quantum effect in response to magnetic fields. Interestingly, the research also determined that these proteins are significantly more sensitive to magnetic fields in robins, which are migratory birds, than in chickens and pigeons, which are resident species. Consequently, the reason why cryptochrome 4 is more sensitive in robins than in chickens and pigeons must be found in the protein's DNA sequence, says Longebrake, who was the lead author. The sequence was probably optimized by evolutionary processes in these nocturnal migratory birds. There's a bit of a sciencey heavy one, but something I thought was really interesting.
I think that's fascinating. to think that it's their eye that basically tells them which way to go when it comes to, like, obviously for us, like, if we want to head north, we kind of know that just head to Scotland, so just follow road signs and find your way to Scotland. Okay? But would you be able to do it without your mobile phone or without a map or anything like that? Like, if all the road signs and all that were pulled down and you didn't have any of that kind of, could we find our way north?
Mm.
And if you know where the sun rises and sun sets and all that kind of stuff, you certainly could. But to know that a bird like a robin or redstarts like we've been talking about tonight, and nightingales and things like that, cuckoos, can just go, oh, it's that way, because their eye sees the magnetic field and it tells them which way to go. It's also probably why they are so accurate and come back to the same spot. Like, if you think about gannets and puffins and seabirds, they always come back to the same spot. How do they do that? Just phenomenal.
It's just amazing how, like, we're knowing more now, but even a few years ago, we just had really little idea of how they could do that. Like, we haven't figured everything out at all with birds. It's not just kind of simple biology. They're using, like, advanced quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
Just to know which way to go is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm with you, Barnacle Bum. I think I would struggle. Like, especially if I didn't have a watch on me, I wouldn't be able to tell you where the sun was supposed to be at that time of day.
I feel like I'm pretty good with direct, like, orientation, but only if I've been there before.
Yeah.
Like, places I've been, I'm pretty kind of like, oh yeah, that way's north, that way's like south and stuff. But I feel like if I was just going somewhere new into the wilderness, then I definitely couldn't just instinctively say.
What happens sometimes in, like, survival training, doesn't it? Where you'll get dropped off in the middle of a glen somewhere, and it'd be like, right, okay, you got to find your way to this location. But they've got maps, they've got compasses, they've got all that kind of stuff, and you're like, right, okay, so, and they've got training on how to do it. But if you don't have any of that,
If it's like mist or fog and you don't have a compass.
yeah, you don't have a compass. How
do
you know which way to go? I sometimes like to stand in a place and guess which way I'm facing, going by the vibe. I'm yet to be correct.
Vibe is not working.
Yeah. So I know right now I'm facing south because I know that the sun rises there. So that's east and that's west. So my garden's not quite south facing; it's just off south facing. So I know exactly where I am right now, and so therefore that direction is north. But if I was literally just plonked at night time in a location and told, right, you've got to get somewhere in an hour's time, it's 5 miles away, it's due north, on you go, I'll be like, I couldn't even tell you which star is the North Star, which isn't north, by the way. It's not true north, so... But there you go. No, that's cool. That is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, if you want to look at that, like, if you're interested, you can go into that article more, and they go into much more detail about the experiments they did. I briefed it up a bit just for tonight, but if you're interested, definitely go and have a look.
I'll put the link in chat now. There you go, folks. There's the link.
I'll be overdue, says Barnacle Bum.
I'd be overdue as well, Barnacle Bum. Pookie says, I don't use GPS for navigation. I kind of remember a map in my head and use sun a lot to navigate on my bike. That's very cool. That's brilliant, Pookie. Impressive. Yeah, I think we've all become far too reliant on like technology to get us around now. I've got a friend who, whenever he gets in his car, the first thing he does is plug his phone into his car and then basically say where he's going, and then GPS comes up and, like, it's telling him when to turn left and when to turn right and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you're only going to work. Surely you know where that is. I mean, that's probably an exaggeration where he won't use it for that. But literally every single time when we were away in Wales or we were in Scotland, he was using it. And I'm like, it's only just round the corner. We know where we're going. Come on.
Covering all bases.
Yeah. But there we go. That's cool. Right, well, I have a news story as well. It's a good news story too. Kind of.
Right.
I'll take it as a good news story. News story. And it is conservation is slowing biodiversity loss, scientists say. This is on the BBC News website. I saw this last week. So, conservation actions are effective at reducing global biodiversity loss, according to a major study. International researchers spent 10 years looking at measures from hatching Chinook salmon to the eradication of invasive algae. The authors said their findings offered a ray of light for those working to protect threatened animals and plants. Excuse me. 1 out of every 3 species monitored is currently endangered because of human activities. In the first study of its kind published in the journal Science, scientists from dozens of research institutes reviewed 665 trials of conservation measures, some from as far back as 1890, in different countries and oceans and across species types, and found they had a positive effect in 2 out of every 3 cases. Co-author Dr. Penny Langhammer, Executive Vice President of Environment charity Rewild, told BBC News, "If you read the headlines about extinction these days, it would be easy to get the impression that we are failing biodiversity, but that's not really looking at the whole picture. This study provides the strongest evidence to date that not only does conservation improve the state of biodiversity and slow its decline, but when it works, it really works. The success stories include deforestation rates falling 74% in the Congo Basin following the introduction of management plans, and least tern breeding rates doubling because of predator management in Florida's barrier islands. In 1 out of every 5 cases, however, the measures had caused the targeted species to decline." But Dr. Langhammer said one of the most interesting findings was that even when a conservation intervention didn't work for the species that it was intended, other species unintentionally benefited. Creating marine protected areas for Australian seahorses, for example, had meant more of them were eaten as their natural predator populations had increased. Which is quite it's counterproductive, but it shows that the seahorses are doing well as their predators. Because that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have this balance, aren't you?
Mm.
It is normal for species diversity and populations to fluctuate, but the rate of extinction is now 100 to 1,000 times faster than scientists would expect. Climate change, habitat loss, and the spread of invasive species are believed to be driving this. So if conservation was working, co-author Dr. Joseph Bull, University of Oxford Associate Professor in Climate Change Biology, told BBC News, that's a mouthful, these measures are clearly not being funded at a sufficient scale to actually start to reverse global declines in biodiversity. In 2022, almost 200 countries signed the Global Biodiversity Framework, agreeing to halt the decline in nature by the end of the decade. They set a target of mobilising at least $200 billion, which is £160 billion, per year from public and private sources, but only an estimated $121 billion a year is currently being invested in conservation worldwide. The University of Sussex environmental biology professor Dr. Fiona Matthews, who was not involved in the research, said it showed conservation interventions can and do work. But she added, "I was struck by the lack of representation of countries in the global south in the analysis, with only a handful of papers from biodiversity hotspots of sub-Saharan Africa, Central and South America, and Southeast Asia. This sadly is a reflection of academic publishing, funding and research, rather than a failure of the part of the authors. Half the trials the researchers assessed had been in Western Europe, North America, Australia and New Zealand. Dr. Bull agreed and said the next stage of research would look at other areas of the world, but one thing I would say is that it's very clear that that doesn't change the results." So,
very interesting.
Conservation works. It has been proven.
We need more of it.
Now we need more of it. And I think the important thing to note is that it doesn't just help one species, it will help all species in that area that you're doing stuff with. So, for example, we've got the seahorses there. I know of other examples too where some species have had fantastic results, and then their predators have increased because of it. I usually look at pine martens and the effect that they've had on red squirrels. So obviously pine martens are slowly but surely starting to spread across the United Kingdom again. They're seen a lot more in Wales now. They are pushing across Scotland. Some have been spotted down in the south of England, which is fantastic. And wherever pine martens go, red squirrels follow. Because red squirrels know how to dodge a pine marten, grey squirrels do not. So that's a fantastic story that you use a predator to help technically its prey. So little things like, obviously we're doing we've already talked about beavers and the impact that they're having, the habitats, the wetland habitats they're creating, like what positive impacts that going to have on things like water voles and wading birds and fish and invertebrates and dragonflies and damselflies. And, you could just keep going and going and going and going with all the species that having a beaver in an area is going to have a positive impact on. Hopefully more kingfishers because of it, all that kind of stuff. It'd be amazing.
And even benefits humans and people as well with
big time
flooding prevention and all that stuff.
So fantastic. More of this, please. More.
Hopefully, certain government people.
We've got to figure out how to help the lovely lesser spotted woodpecker. That's a little lesser spotted woodpecker. I got a bookmark today. It's got a lesser spotted woodpecker on it. How cool is that?
Oh, such a cute one.
I love lessers. They're so lovely.
Lesser lovelies.
So there we go. Cool. Is that us done? Are we finished?
Wow.
For another week.
Yeah, early.
It does feel early, doesn't it?
It's the first ever time we finished early.
We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. And that included the intro, which was about 4 minutes long.
True.
So just over an hour and a half, which is all right. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 episodes were 2 hours, but there we go.
What's your week looking like ahead?
Oh, what am I doing? So tomorrow I'll be doing lots of gardening, and then I've got some cardboard to put down on pathing areas so that I can suppress some weeds. And I need to go out and buy some more wood chip and stuff, so so I can literally put that down, or bark, or whatever it is I buy. And then guess I'll be doing that and a bit of weeding in my allotment, and then I might even plant out my French beans, my runner beans. Mm-hmm. So I might plant them out. See how we're doing with everything. Yeah, busy, Barnacle Bum, busy, and then. I don't know if my other half has said she's going to take Friday off or not. And if she is, then I'm thinking either going to Clumber Park, which is just north of me, or Thorsby Hall, which is just north of me. Maybe one of the reserves up in that area, just past Sherwood, and see what I can spot. I know there's orchids and stuff up in those areas at the moment, so I might go orchid hunting. Because I haven't seen orchids yet this year, so I might actually go see if I can spot some orchids.
Yeah, lots coming out here, so
yeah, that's good. That's very cool. And if not, I'll just go to Budbay and I'll see if I can find some crossbill. So, because crossbill have been spotted on Budbay the last couple of weeks, so I might go do that.
That'd be cool.
Which would be a lifer for me. I've never seen a crossbill. I heard them, but I didn't see on Saturday, but I didn't see them. So.
Hope you get good enough views to actually see the crossing the bill.
That'd be amazing. That'd be very cool indeed. Yes, definitely. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do a bit of birding, and I'm definitely going to do some gardening. So, what about you?
Good week.
Yeah. What's your plan?
Work as usual. On the long weekend, my brother's coming up, which would be nice.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We're going a few walks. Give him a tour of the area, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's see what I see. Hopefully the weather's good, but if not, we'll still be out anyway. So.
Yeah, I might have to go do a bit of mothing as well. I managed to get some nice perspex, so I might build myself a new moth trap as well.
Especially these warm nights. Should be really good.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I might do a bit of mothing and see what I get. And then if it goes well, we can plan to do a moth off.
Moth off.
A moth off. Once I get back on from holiday. So the three of us will be back next week. For our Dawn Chorus. Remember, Dawn Chorus as well. We've got to do a Dawn Chorus thing this weekend. Exactly. So, so the three of us will be back next week to go over our Dawn Chorus stuff. And then anything else that we've seen. And then it'll be the two of us back the week after that. And then I am not here the following week. I will be in Scotland. So, unfortunately, the East Coast Barnacle Bob, not West Coast. But I do love the East Coast. That's where I grew up. So I am going back to see friends and family, and then I'm going to go to Loch of the Lows to see the ospreys. I'm going to go to Loch 11, which is an RSPB reserve. Hopefully try and see some crested tit. I might even go try and find a red squirrel or two, which would be challenging this time of year, but you never know. Pookie's definitely getting lots of images of red squirrels, so I think I have a chance.
Your turn. Any osprey updates from last week or so?
Nothing at the moment, no. I've been watching. I couldn't tell you how many eggs they're on. I haven't read their blog. It's probably 2 or 3 by now.
Wow.
But they're still there. She's still incubating. I would expect the first egg to be hatching just before or around about the time I'm up there watching. So if I'm very lucky, I might be there when the first chick emerges, which would be very cool. So, but I'm not going to be going there every single day. I'll be doing a day there. So I'll probably do like 3 or 4 hours. Such a good reserve. Loch of the Lows is fantastic. I've gone all blurry. Why am I going blurry? There we go. I'm not blurry anymore. Apparently, Pine Mountains and Selkirk, if that's anywhere nearby. Selkirk. You're getting me checking now, Barnacle Barb. You're getting me checking. Where is Selkirk?
I didn't spot one there last week, Gar.
Where is Selkirk? Oh, it's just south. That's just south of Edinburgh.
Quick detour.
Oh, I possibly could. Did they say where? I didn't spot one there last week. Yeah. Oh. So you're in Selkirk last week, were you, Barnacle Bum? That's cool. I hope it was a good trip. What did you spot while you were there? Anything good? Oh, family. Ah.
I spotted family.
You spotted family. I'll be doing spotting family too.
Wildlife encounters.
Get pictures of my mum, dad, and my brother. This is the wildlife encounters of Scotland. This is my dad. Oh, pipistrelles, first bats, awesome. Good old pips. To see martins during the day, you need to get lucky. You're right, Pookie. They're very much a nocturnal species. When I was last time I was on the west coast of Scotland, I did mull. And mull's amazing, by the way. Like, honestly, when the stories they say of mull are true. It's just nuts, that place. But we stayed in Loch Allen, which is one of the ferry points to get across to Mull. And Lisa, my partner, she used to go up there like yearly to do scuba diving in the Straits of Mull, which is like between Mull and the mainland. And so so she knows like the boat drivers and stuff, the tour boat driver stuff, and one of them was called Malcolm, and he took us out to go and try and spot some white-tailed eagle, and we saw 5 white-tailed eagle that day. It was amazing. Wow. But he was telling me about his garden and the fact that he gets pine martens in his garden, which is just crazy.
Bird watch.
I'd like to explore more with a wildlife feet. I was visiting with family a few years ago, so getting dragged around the shops wasn't the same. Saw otter kicking about near Iona, though. Yes, it's honestly, Barnacle Bum, you need to go back and you need to do it as I did it as a bird spotting tour. And the beauty of that place is it's big enough that you can spend a day in like key areas, or it's small enough that you can, I kid you not, you can drive the entire island in a day, circle it in a day. It's just, like the first day we went out to Iona and did stuff on Iona, and they've got corncrake on the island. I didn't see any, unfortunately, but I did see some good stuff. And then the second day, there's 5 of us in total that went on this holiday. Three of us decided that they were going to go and climb the highest ben on the island, but myself and Lisa, we decided we were going to go eagle spotting, and we went to the north of the island and caught 3 golden eagles, countless buzzards, possibly hen harriers, but I'm not sure, so I can't honestly say. Kestrels, I saw my first stone chat. There's loads of great stuff while we're driving around. Some amazing things. Oh, got a corncrake shouting under the window at the work for the last few days. That is really cool, Barnacle Bob.
Barnacle Bob's
that is very cool.
Drumming outside, keeping the guards and corncrakes at work. So much wildlife. To my cat.
Honestly, West Coast of Scotland's just immense. So good.
Sounds like the place to be.
It's so good. Very jealous of Barnacle Bum living there. There we go. Anyway, we should call it there. We should head off.
Getting carried away again.
We've waffled on for another 10 minutes. Or I've waffled on for another 10 minutes.
It doesn't have magpies though, Barnacle Bum.
You don't have magpies though. That's a shame.
I've heard that one of my friends is going to. Oh, I keep forgetting the name, between Orkney and Shetland. But like up there, magpies are like a rarity. I just find that so weird.
I found it interesting talking magpies. I didn't see a magpie until I was in my mid-20s when I moved to Glasgow.
Really?
Yeah. So there weren't any magpies on the east coast of Scotland when I was growing up, and then I moved to Glasgow and literally I saw a magpie on my first day. And I was like, oh, it's a magpie. That's really cool. Must be super rare. Then there's hundreds of them, and now I see them every day. But
they're quite a distinct and cool looking bird if you don't see them every single day or just often.
They are beautiful magpies. I do love looking.
I love how they fly.
Yeah,
like the flying, almost like a swimming motion. It's very pretty.
Yeah, they're very, very, very cool. Very cool birds. It's hooded crows though. You're bound to have lots of hooded crows, Barnacle Bum. They're my favourite spot when I'm away. They're striking diamond shape. Yeah, I just love the tail. Like say when they're flying, you see this really long tail. They look tropical because of their shape.
Yeah. Yeah, if they were more colourful, then they'd be like a proper bird of paradise kind of thing.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. I said it was last week or the week before on like Anglesey. You can go to Anglesey in Wales and you can see all British native corvids on Anglesey now, because there's at least one hooded crow in the north of the island. So there might be 2 or 3 now, but yeah.
Last week on the stream, I was searching something and I saw that there was a bee eater spotted like 10 miles away from me, and the next day it was gone, and I was so sad. I thought that would be so cool to see.
I saw them last year
in the evening.
Saw them last year in Norfolk. Oh my word, what a bird!
I'd love to see them. The colours just amazing looking.
Absolutely stunning. Yeah, just... I couldn't say if that's my highlight, but it's certainly one that will stick in my mind for a very long time. Yeah, it's just so good. That was at Trimmingham, which is just south of Cromer in Norfolk. That's where it's the first time they'd nested at the same site 2 years on the trot in the UK. And it was very lucky. There's been no word of them yet this year, but we never know. They're funky wee guys. I think bee eaters have been seen in Shetland, if I remember rightly. Wow, that's a long way north.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Bo says, I think with the magpies, one got caught in a storm and landed in my auntie's garden. She thought it was a penguin. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, there was another nesting site. So it was Trimmingham, which failed, and there was another nesting site just south of Manchester, around Manchester last year as well, that was kept quiet for bee eaters. But unfortunately, that also that failed as well. They think the nest got predated, but yeah, they were successful the year before at Trimmingham. Birds fledged from there, which is really good. Which is probably why they returned to the same site again.
That's true, yeah.
So, but nothing happened last year. It failed. So, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it'll be there again this year. And if it is, I'm sure the RSPB will put up another, set up another viewing point and all that kind of stuff. Because they managed the site. They had volunteers there 24/7 for the whole breeding season. And you paid entry into the car park. I think it was £10 per person. It might be £10 per car. I can't remember. And then literally you pulled into this field. You got out your car and you walked 50 metres and you stood at the edge of a ledge looking down into an old quarry. And there they were, just flying around. It's just amazing. Immense. Absolutely immense. I've got videos and stuff of them all and pictures and things. They're not great, but honestly, I was like blown away by it. Bird you think you'll never see. And then there they are. And what I find even more interesting, sticking with bee eaters for a second, if I can find them. So this, I've got the Collins Complete Guide to British Birds. Okay, and gives you pictures of all the different birds and stuff, like proper photographs instead of drawings, which you get in most Collins books, which is why I chose this one. And bee eaters are in here, if I find them. There's page 168. There we go. Just beneath the hoopoo. So there's the bee eater. There's the hoopoo. I haven't seen a hoopoo yet, but a bunch of these have been spotted in the UK recently. But what I find interesting is that in this book, at the back, there's a rarity section where the lesser yellowlegs is, or out of the ordinary section, and bee eaters, which are very rarely spotted in the UK, aren't in that section.
The regulars.
So they're obviously regulars.
If Colin says so, then it must be true.
Must be true. Must be true. There we go. Cool. Anyway, we've hit our 2-hour mark. Haha! Just from waffling.
The waffles can do it.
The waffles can do it. Cool. Right, we're going to head off, folks. I think it's time. We will be back next Wednesday at 7:30. Same Dawn Chorus time, same Dawn Chorus place. Please remember, Dawn Chorus this weekend, Sunday if you want to do the exact day. I shan't be doing it on Sunday, I'll be doing it on Saturday because I'm at work on Sunday, so I don't want to be getting up at 5.
Enough early mornings recently.
Yeah, I've had a lot of early mornings recently. But oh, we've had a follow. Thank you so much. October will be cold. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciated. Welcome to Nature's BS. But yeah, we please post your videos or your audios or even just your pictures of Dawn Chorus in our Discord. There is, at the very bottom, there is a Dawn Chorus channel. Post everything in there, please. And then
just a message of what you saw in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Next week, myself, Nick, and hopefully Kat as well will have videos of our Dawn Chorus experiences. I'm doing mine in my back garden. Nick's going to the top of the hill. No idea where Kat's going to go. She could possibly do it in some very cool place. While she's knee deep in a pond somewhere, looking for newts and frogs and whatnot, which would be very cool actually if you had frogs in the back. Imagine hearing frogs ribbit. Oh, natterjack toads and stuff, croaking and all that stuff. That'd be super cool.
That'd be very cool.
So yeah, and then I'm gonna post the Twitter or X and Instagram. There we go, and YouTube. We're on YouTube. If you've missed anything, oh, that's not right. YouTube, just YouTube. Sounds like a challenge. It does. It does sound like a challenge. We've got a YouTube channel as well where you can catch up with the stream. Because last week's stream will no longer be on the channel. But you can get it on our YouTube channel. So you can go and catch up there, which would be very cool. So if you've missed anything, it's always there. Excellent. Right. Let's go. I've got to prepare myself for Dawn Chorus.
Gotta get some sleep.
Gotta get some sleep. Amazing. Right, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Have a fantastic week in between. Go and spend some time in nature. Enjoy that beautiful sun. Get up early and go out into a woodland or something and take some pictures and get cool light effects like I did earlier. Because I loved it. It was great. I've even changed my what do you call it? My desktop background to one of those images just because I was like, super cool. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Barnacle Bomb. Thank you, everybody who's joined us. Thank you. October will be cold for the follow again, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.